Hey there. I just thought I'd show some tips I learned on changing the valve cover gasket on my 1998 four-door Rav4. It's an automatic Canadian version with fuel injection. There's only one video I found on YouTube, and it was by some European guy, um, Toyota Maintenance, and he only showed you to remove the throttle cable assembly, this PVC valve tubing, the intake, and the four 30 millimeter nuts, and you can lift off the valve cover. I tried that and ran into a few issues. There's a little more to it, at least on mine. The valve cover was hitting this bracket. It wouldn't come up at all. And is also hitting a bolt here. So I backed this bolt out so it would clear here. And then in order to move this bracket out, there's a bolt here that runs this direction, right in here. And there's no way to access that to loosen it off. So the throttle body had to come off. That's 3 bolts and the intake boots. So once you got the throttle body off, then you can get socket in and get this bolt right out. And then there's a nut right here. I pulled that one right off. And then way down in there, sorry about the shadows, but anyways, down in the abyss here, there's a nut at the bottom, and then right underneath here, there's another bolt. I removed those two. Actually, the bottom one I just loosened off as far as I could without it coming out. And this one here, I pulled that one right out. And then I was able to move this bracket out. Oh, by the way, these are all 12 mils, these 3, and then this one's a 14. And once I move that out, it would hang up right down in here. So all I did was back this guy way out. I didn't want to fully remove it because it'd be pretty tough to get it back in. So I just backed it out like an inch there. And then I was able to pry this up. This is just a plastic housing that has cable in it, harness in it. And once I got that up high enough, I could lift the cover up and out, and it would actually clear this. If you try and tip it, it's going to run into there. So you got to go up and then over and then out. So yeah, it's not as easy as you first might think. Just getting this bracket off adds a bit of time, and then you can just watch any generic video on putting the gasket in and adding a little sealant, and then these nuts are torqued to 17 foot-pounds, and I did them outside and inside, and then kept going over them because with the rubber gasket it compresses, and then you got to retorque them until they all click. So anyways, good luck with that, and allow yourself a little extra time to do this job. It's a little tougher to work on than you might think. This guy, I was thinking that the oil leak at the very back here was from my oil pump, because that's common, that gasket on the oil pump. But when I looked up from the wheel well, oil was well above that, and I could see back here that the fuel injectors, and it was just a big oily mess back there. And hopefully that cures my oil leak. It was pretty bad. And when I pulled this gasket out, it was quite hard. There was no softness in the rubber whatsoever. So it definitely needed to be done anyways. And yeah, hopefully that fixes it. So the tools I used that helped make this easier was this a flex handle ratchet, a magnet in case I drop a bolt, one of these universal joints to get better angles, and then two ratcheting spanners, a 10 and a 12 mil. Those really helped out. And then a 1/4 inch drive impact just to speed things up a little bit. That's about it.